Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the Great and Powerful Zilla, and today I'm on the PTR, and they have introduced submarines into the public test realm. I've been playing on these, and I'll share some of my thoughts with them and show you what they're all about. But first, let's go over what's coming in 9.4. You've got this event here for, I guess, early access Soviet destroyers. They keep pushing the Mikoyan and Pyotr Bagration. Um, I guess those two ships are going to be in. Nowhere on the tech tree for the Soviets do you see anything about the cruiser split or the new cruiser lines. We still have the Moskva down here. I know that somewhere around the shores they were supposed to split, and you're supposed to have the um, one here, the light one, and then a heavy one, the Petropavlovsk over here. Okay, Alexander Nevsky and Pavlovsk. Um, Pardon me. So those were supposed to be there. So you have that. In public test realm fashion, you have 1,000 tons of these containers that you get all the time. You get a currency from them, the Soviet tokens. However, these don't show up anywhere on the armory on the PTR at all. In fact, nothing on the armory is actually new as opposed to what's in the live game right now. There are no, I did not see any tokens on here whatsoever. There's no category for the Soviet Navy on here. Nothing. So I have nothing to report except this directive that's coming. Pretty bog simple to do. Not anything overly complicated. Of course, remember that this is a work in progress and is subject to change, lest we forget the Puerto Rico. Okay? So there's that. And then if you go to the PTR, you have the opportunity to do some combat missions to get some stuff on the live account, like symbols, flags, camouflages, containers, and things like that. So doing those things. And then if you complete the meta achievement for the spring season, you get 4 Soviet containers. I believe that's here, but you also get, it's part of a meta achievement. You get spring, summer, winter, and fall. And you get a special flag or patch for that. Okay? So, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with the submarines. We have 3 submarines available, and this you have to be in this mode right here, the submarine battle. It's tier 6 only. We have the Cachelet, the S1, and the U-69. Somebody at Wargaming, please explain to me why you chose the number 69, because that has been the butt of more jokes than I can count on 2 hands in this game so far. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the parameters. The torpedoes, which is the main armament, they don't have a tremendous amount of range, 10.5 kilometers. Your concealment is very, very good, of course, 4.9 kilometers. Underwater maneuvering sucks. It absolutely sucks. You can do 15 knots, that's fine, but your turn, oh my God, you turn like a pig. On the surface, you can do 24 knots. The battery life, it'll keep you underwater for about 3 minutes, which is long enough. Sonar, your ping, that's your ping. I have an opinion about that myself. And then, of course, survivability, you have none, essentially. You don't have any. If you get hit in this thing, in any of these, you're in deep, deep trouble. So that's the Americans. The Soviets, again, concealment's a little bit better. The underwater maneuvering still sucks. You know, torpedoes, 8.7 kilometers on the Soviets, so not as far as the Americans. But do they have better speed? Let's take a look at the American one. It's American 64 knots, so it's 62. So torpedoes not as good. Survivability is even worse. And then the U-69 torpedoes will do. They're slow. They have a very short range. However, with the U-69, you do have a stern tube that fires one torpedo, so you've got a sting in your tail, so to speak. Okay. Concealment's much better on the U-69, 4.3 kilometers. Underwater maneuvering sucks, and all of these underwater maneuvering sucks and whatnot. There are minor differences between them, but they pretty much all play about the same. You're going to do about the same thing. I'll show you some gameplay here in a minute. Um, they the thing is with the submarines is this is coming to the game and in 9.4 it's a separate game mode, and right now all you have is the 3 at tier 6. So that's that. We'll show you some gameplay, but you can't put any camo on them right now. You can't put any flags on them. You can't do anything with them. You're just testing the operation of the submarine. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll talk to you when we get there, because there might be a long queue here. Not a lot of people are testing this. A lot of people waiting for the live server. If you wait for the live server, you're not going to know what to expect, and you may do well, but you need to know what's coming. And again, I can't stress this enough. This is a work in progress. A lot of this most likely will change, but pretty much you can bet your bottom dollar that this is set pretty much the way it's going to be. There are going to be some minor changes, but I think this is pretty much what's going to happen. So, again, as in any battle, you start off. Now, you can cap in a submarine.
Battle starts.
Well, let's talk about the interface real quick. Over on the left here, you'll see the silhouette of the sub. The top part is your health. The bottom part is the battery life that you have left. And I don't know what's going on with the lag here. It may be going down. Yep. Okay, we finally made it back. I don't know what that was all about. See the maneuverability? They ain't turning with their shit. So, you are pretty zippy though, I guess, you know, especially in this German one. I kind of like the speed on the German U-boat. Although in real life it did not do this. And it certainly did not do 15 knots underwater. I don't even know that the Type 21 did 15 knots underwater. You're going to spend a lot of your time on the surface simply because it's more efficient and you're faster. Okay. And the Germans, you can fire 4 torpedoes out the front and 1 out the back. And there's a destroyer.
Enemy battleship sighted.
This is going to change the meta drastically. And there's a submarine over there. You see those 2 torps? They always come in pairs. This is going to change it dramatically. Players are going to have to watch what they're doing very carefully. Also, bear in mind not all the ships have depth charges.
Torpedoes direct
Okay,
front.
so you got to be aware of that. The symbol for submarines looks very much like a destroyer symbol, so you have to be careful of that. To dive, you press the C button and hold it down, and you will go underwater. And then to surface, you press the F key, and that brings you back up. We are not going to do that. We are going to ping. So what you got to do is point your little thing at the ship, little box, and you try and hit those dots. Got one of them. What that will do is guide your torpedoes a little bit. Nope, didn't get that. I'm pinging at a submarine. Trying to hit a submarine in this thing, very difficult to do. Very difficult to do. It can be done, but it's very difficult to do. And what I end up doing a lot of times is just, to heck with it. I go ahead and do
The
the.
enemy team has taken the lead.
You see my battery starting to drain there? Ooh, he hit me. What's up with that?
Below the waterline. We're flooding quickly.
To win.
Problem solved, sir.
You see those splashes? And we'll bring our rear tube around. See if we can't hit something that way. No, I'm not going to hit him. Don't have a lot of health to play with, gentlemen.
Problem solved, sir.
When you take damage, you take a lot of damage. So there's a battleship over here. I'm going to try and take a shot at him. And that sub is just on my butt. He is not going to leave me alone. Whew, that was close. Okay. And that's going to pass up underneath this battleship. Secondary guns on a battleship can give you problems. This, again, here we go with the maneuverability part. You cannot turn for shit. Oh my God, it's terrible. It is terrible. And kaboom. That's just, like I said, that's right now, that's where it's at. I've had good games. I've had bad